first. Fighting out of the red corner, she's wearing blue trimmed with white and weighs in at 104 pounds. Her record 1-3 from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Here is Tracey Stevens. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with fringe and weighing in at an even 100 pounds. Her record, 5 victories with only 1 loss and 1 draw, 2 knockouts to her credit. From Atlanta, GA, introducing Nina the Bomb Ahlin.
Well,
instructions earlier. Avoid using any kinds of power. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Any question? Okay, touch glove, back to your corner.
final instructions from referee Carlos Padilla. This fight scheduled for 4 rounds. I can't much set up their styles because I don't really know what that's going to be. Nina says she likes to box. We'll see.
Of course, Stevens is the southpaw of the two. And we'll see how well Nina Ahlin deals with that issue. And these are two of the lesser experienced women boxers. They don't have a ton of experience. And so you'll see that some of the skills still need refining.
Ahlin took a little shot right on the chin. She's taking another one and closing her eyes as I believe Miss Stevens does box. She's coming right at her with both gloves.
Well, we know that she's going to be in pretty good shape. Nina Ahlin's a cheerleader for the Atlanta Falcons, so they're always in shape. They're always in the gym. So we're going to see how well she does in boxing.
As she says, when she started telling people that she was going to do this, the reaction was, "Are you kidding?" No, she wasn't, apparently. So now here she is in Las Vegas.
And she sticks a pretty good jab.
And a pay-per-view fight card.
Good right hand by Nina.
One of the difficulties, even in facing a left-hander for her, is when you're this inexperienced, it's tough to really be aware of the right things to do against a lefty. And I don't think she really has too much of a left hook, Nina Ahlin, which is the most important weapon against the lefty. So she is going to hope she can get that straight right hand in.
That was a good left by Tracey, and at the same time, Nina Ahlin stuck a jab that connected good in the face.
Nina holding her hands a little bit high for a normal boxing stance, leaving herself just a little bit open, and so far Stevens has been able to come straight in on her. But like Al said, throwing against the southpaw, might need to throw the left hook.
One good thing, though, that she is doing
got connected with a good left by Tracey.
Is the fact that Ahlin is moving to her left, which is the right way to move against the left.
End of round 1. That was interesting. Let's go to the corner.
Good job, good job. That's exactly what you have to do to win. Now, only one thing wrong that I saw. You're pawing your way in there. If you're going to throw something, it's going to hurt. You're not going to hurt him doing this. Snap that jab at her. Snap it. Snap that jab at her, okay? It's going to hurt her. Anytime you double
step, ride it, right? Come back with the right hand, right? Take deep breaths, deep breaths. You heard what I said, right? Step, ride it, hard right hand, okay? You gotta ride it, because she's gonna come in and make her force match yours. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Coming up, round 2 of a scheduled 4-round featherweight fight. That was Xavier Biggs, the trainer for Nina Ahlin, in the corner, saying, throw the right.
And in the first round, the CompuBox number tell us that Nina landed 10 of 59 punches. Stevens busier and a little more accurate, landed 12 of 97.
A little left just snuck in right on the chin of Nina right there.
Good and straight left by Tracey that landed on the jaw of Nina. Tracey going straight forward now. She looks like she's the stronger of the two.
I think so. She's been able to impose herself on her and come straight in on Nina during the first 2 rounds. There's a little left that snuck in from Nina Ahlin.
You're really at a big disadvantage when you're fighting a lefty and you really don't have a left hook, and Nina Ahlin doesn't. And that's just very important. You need to have it to work against a lefty. So when you don't, you have to hope that jabs, which are tough to land, will at least pave the way for that straight right hand to land. The one thing Nina's doing correctly is moving to her left against the southpaw. There's Stevens, though, with a very good straight left hand.
Yes, he's been effective with that.
Chris Women's rounds 2 minutes, as you see, under a minute left to go in this one. So they are shorter, and now Stevens getting the job done.
Good left, good right hook, I mean, by Stevens. A good left by Nina. Nina pushing Stevens back now.
Nina Ahlin trying to come off the ropes, but she's been having trouble with the straight-in style of the lefty.
Yeah, and Tracey Stevens is showing good composure. Even though she doesn't have much experience, she's making Nina move around and come to her. She's not going really after her to try to press the fight that much. There's a good straight left by Tracey Stevens that connected.
That's the end of round 2. My guess would be that Stevens would be in charge of this fight so far.
So far, she would appear to be, at least the way we see the fight. That was a big round. There's Richard Steele giving the instructions to Paulie Ayala in the dressing room. As you know, he visits the dressing room of both fighters and reminds them of the instructions for each fight. And that, we just saw the Fighter of the Year in 1999, and in the Fight of the Year against Johnny Tapia, I don't know that I've seen a better one in a long time.
Well, I know you've always thought highly of Johnny Tapia.
Yes.
Were you surprised at the outcome of that fight last year?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And, you know, it was a very, very close fight that could have gone either way. Now, here is Ahlin walking into good straight left hands by Stevens. That's one of 32 punches that Stevens landed in the last round, or one of 32 total that she has landed in this fight. Out of 188 punches, Ahlin has only landed 15 shots so far in this bout.
Tracey Stevens from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Manages a sporting goods store there. Always been interested in athletics all her life, and now she's a professional boxer. But Nina Ahlin's trying to put on a little pressure now, and they're flailing away right above us here.
Tracey Stevens.
There's a good left that snuck in.
Stevens is counterpunching extremely well, and Nina Ahlin's not able so far, I don't think, to deal with that very effectively.
Nina Ahlin hasn't been able to find a way to get into Tracey Stevens without getting connected pretty good by that straight left.
Part of the perils of fighting the southpaw, you will know.
Right.
Two mixing it up a little bit here in round 3. A little more active than it has been in the first 2 rounds. Nina Ahlin with a wild right hook.
And she's sticking out her jab pretty good in this round.
Oh, she
gets connected by a left hook and a good right hook.
One of the remarkable things about Stevens is she's being very active. Over the first 2 rounds, she threw 90 punches she averaged over in 2 minutes. You know, it's less time than a male fighter would have to land punches to throw them, and she's still throwing 90 punches around.
And she's not wasting her punches. Her punches are either landing on the arms or some of them are connecting. So for a fighter who doesn't have really that much experience, she's doing a good job.
And a fighter with a losing record as well.
All right. 1-3.
But Nina Ahlin really is still a very inexperienced fighter herself, and clearly still working on her technique, so it's part of the reason.
10 seconds to go.
And Tracey good punches, like one good left hook I landed.
Ahlin's a little wobbly as the bell ends. Round 3. She's taking a lot of punishment.
As we see her walk back, she's not in a hurry to get back to her corner to sit down.
Not getting off right hand, okay? Listen to me. You want to win this fight? How many rounds is this?
This is the last round.
You got to knock her out.
You got to knock her out to win the fight.
All right? Listen.
You don't knock her out, you
let
lose.
this bomb go. All right? Let it go. Double jab.
Here is Stevens landing the good straight left hand. Her punches have been straighter by and large, and she's throwing so many punches Lots of combinations.
There's a good combination right there by Tracey Stevens. Straight ahead punches, the bell rings, and I'm pretty sure that Nina Ahlin is pretty tired about receiving some of those punches.
He's not tired. What are you doing that for? This is it. What are you doing that for?
Take a deep breath.
Let's go. 2 minutes of concentration. Not a word. Not a word.
Tracey Stevens' corner telling her to keep it up, and Nina Ahlin's corner telling her she's got to knock her out, which is probably pretty accurate at this point.
And in that last round, a reflection of the way the fight's going, Stevens landed 11 power shots and 8 jabs, while Ahlin only landed 4 jabs and 7 power shots. And you would think that if they're admitting it in the corner of Nina Ahlin, that she would need a knockout to win. But you know what? A lot of strange decisions lately, so you never
You can say that again.
Yeah, especially lately in boxing.
Tracey Stevens, whenever Nina Ahlin steps in, she takes a step back and counters with pretty good lifts that are landing to the forehead of Nina Ahlin. So she has her work cut out if she's going to try to win this by knockout. She better go and play her cards right now.
I think she's trying. There's a good shot they got in. She's trying to load up.
Good left hook by Nina Ahlin.
I think Nina Ahlin is much of a power puncher, though, and I think that's, you know, she's in a situation where to play catch-up and try and get a knockout now is a very difficult task for her.
Yeah, Tracey Stevens counters with some good straight-ahead punches. I do believe that Nina Ahlin is going to have to go back home and work on how to set her feet down in order to get some power behind those punches.
Well, she's fairly new at this, and I'm sure from tonight there's a little left that got in from Tracey, and
a good left by Nina Ahlin.
So they've been throwing in this round.
Oh, good straight left.
That hurt. Straight left from
Nina Ahlin continue fighting.
Just standing there. Now I think she's a little mad. But she grits her teeth and keeps charging.
Nina Ahlin has a lot of gutting fighters, huh? A lot of guts to keep on fighting, throwing punches, even though it seemed like she was hurt there.
She's been staggered a couple of times. Only 10 seconds left in this fight.
Well, now they're having exchange of punches there.
All the way to the end, they throw. Tracey Stevens putting on a pretty good 4-round exhibition of women's boxing. Nina Ahlin having trouble matching up with her style tonight.
Nina Ahlin really never did quite figure out this lady's left-handed stance, and for Nina, a very tough outing. And, if you don't have the weapons to deal with the southpaw, you're just not going to be able to do it. Now, we're assuming that Stevens won this fight. We think she did, but of course it's in the judge's hands, and there's no question Stevens had a big edge in terms of number of punches thrown and landed. Stevens landed 78 punches out of 357. While for Nina Ahlin, she landed 44 out of 28, only 19% of her punches. Those are the CompuBox numbers, the always unimpeachable CompuBox numbers.
Extremely accurate.
That's right.
And for Tracey Stevens, who didn't have her trainer here tonight, she did a good job.
Yes, she did.
She was saying that her trainer had to stay back home.
I was kind of impressed the way she kept going in and throwing combinations and pecking away and landing a few, and to see the smile on her face there.
She's looking for her second win as a professional. Waiting the judge's scorecard, but Nina Ahlin, you can see etched on her face. In fact, no matter what they say, she was not pleased with this performance. It didn't turn out the way she would have liked it.
Well, you know, we have to give a little credit to the corner man on Tracey's side. Reason being, he has so much experience. He's been around the world with a lot of world-class fighters, world champions. And today, they call him up, and he's working with a girl that he has no idea what she can do.
Right now, let's set it up to ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Carol Castellano and Al Lefkowitz scored it 39-37. CJ Ross has it 40-36. All for the winner by unanimous decision from Thunder Bay, Canada, Tracey Stevens.
Well, We got that one right.
How about a round of applause for Nina
Unanimous decision for
Ahlin.
Tracey Stevens, and she certainly deserved it. It was an excellent performance by her. She landed better in both the jab and the power punch department. Totally throughout this fight. She landed 52 power punches to only 32 for Ahlin, and 26 jabs to only 12 for Ahlin. And here's some of the ways she did it in round 3. We take a look at Ahlin coming in. That sound up. You didn't tell us.
Final round.
Yeah, Tracey Stevens connecting with good straight punches while the balance.
And they kept slugging all the way to the end. Tracey Stevens knows how to box a little bit.
Yeah, she's got, she's a work in progress, as is Nina Ahlin. They're both inexperienced young ladies, but for her, a big win for her. Gets her second win as a pro.
I want to remind you, lots of great action coming up, and this is one of the most intriguing matchups of the year. Yuri Boy Campus taking on Oba Carr from Detroit, Michigan. Oba, a fighter we've seen in there with the best over the years, and Yuri Boy, certainly one of them.
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it. Drop your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that, hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the